Hey guys, finally Sleeps here, back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is our weekly edition. We put these out every Friday. It's This Week in Raid, where we kind of sum up what's going on and what we know, what's happening in the next week. We are in the middle of a free gear weekend. We have free gear removal. It still has about a day and a half left of that for free gear removal. The fusion just ended, and we are kind of in a reset period. This is where you're usually trying to hoard your energy and your gems and your resources, and then they try to tempt you and tease you with a few reasons for you to waste your shards, waste your gems, and kind of go in for something. Sometimes it's a Titan event where they give you a chance to kind of claim back a soul for the fusion you just claimed or whatever. But this time they have been teasing this new event dungeon that is releasing, and we'll get to that in a second. But right now they have Summon Rush. We are in the middle of a progressive event. We're going to take a look and see what's available. We have Arthurian, Wallmaster Arthurian. There's another, like if you really wanted to grab a second Thor. A couple of damage dealers. Plus we have First Axe Tuskor. What is he bringing? One enemy 2 times. AoE. Decreased tool down skills. And each extra turn this champion gets increases their crit damage by 10%. It stacks up to 50. It decreases the damage they receive. That's not bad. First Axe Tuskor. First Axe Tuskor. God, that's not fun to say. I think if it was me, if there was anybody here, I would do, I still don't have Harima. That's who I would go after. And then you can't go wrong with Geo. It just depends on if you're in need of somebody. Voids are where I usually kind of look at this. Ooh. We have Anrio Leasu, which is resources aren't even loading. But Chaco the Blind. Where am I at on Mercy? Usually we end up pulling some shards for these videos. 87 voids. I still would love to have Chaco. Just because he's so goddamn weird looking. Come on. We got 3 voids sitting there. We may as well pull them. Now a message from our newest sponsor, Aptoide. Here's your chance for a secret promo code in Raid. To get started, use my link to download Aptoide on your PC or Android device and install or update Raid Shadow Legends. For a limited time right now, this will also earn you bonus resources inside the game. What is Aptoide? That's easy. Aptoide is an alternative Android app store that is partnered with Raid to give you more for your hard-earned cash. Next, you'll need to install the APTOIDE Wallet, which is 100% fast and safe. Before you make a purchase, use my promo code SLEEP to receive an extra bonus of up to 25% in all your purchases in Raid. It's that easy. Just Whisper? Yeah, let's do Whisper and Chaco. We'll just pull 3. We have room for it. We're going to pull 3 real quick. This is the Summon Rush that's going on. We're not getting very much points out of this. There's not a whole lot to achieve in this Summon Rush. The rewards aren't there for it. It's just the progressive event. And if they can kind of get you into releasing a few of these voids and your shards, it's going to benefit Raid, because once this new stuff starts to hit, you're going to need the shards to be able to get something out of it. All right, so there was the 3 voids. Didn't pull anything. It was worth it, though. See, that's kind of what it is. Like, I'll give myself a little tease. Like, okay, I'll just pull 3 voids, and then I can walk away and hold on to everything else before anything comes along. So the big thing that we have to see is they've been talking all about this new thing that's coming. So we're going to take a look at the teaser. We're going to take a look at what we know about the event dungeon, and then check out the new mythical that is involved. So this is the teaser that was released earlier this week. The tagline for this is Chaos Awakes, I think. So we've got... Alright, so Demon Spawn, it looks like Demon Spawn attack. The speculation though here is we've got Sylvan Watchers and Dwarves. Why are they in line with Demon Spawn? And is it going to be kind of a, what all is going on? Chaos awakes, blah, blah, blah. What is this? Is it a new promo? Is it a new boss? Or are they just kind of pushing out a new champion that we're going to have? So that was the original teaser. Then they released this one, which is kind of a step up. We bring out the new Demon Spawn Mythical. Here she is. I like the one eye on her forehead is kind of creepy. But once you see her change, sometimes you can get side eye. She's giving you side boob side eye, which is mythical. I would say it's epic, but she's a mythical. Side boob side eye. Yeah, that's what she is. Her name is Kurosa. The names, they come up with the names for these things. It's just god awful. Kurosa the Covetous. And she is the mythical that goes along with this. She is a support mythical. But when she's in her mythical form, she switches to attack. We'll come back to that. So she starts out in her base form as a support champ. She looks pretty cool. I like the weird singular eye of Sauron on her forehead or whatever it is. Her A1 is an AoE, heals all allies. The value heals proportion to this champion's attack. You're going to build her with a lot of attack because of her mythical, her alternate form. So that's actually pretty cool. It's an AoE and an all ally heal. Her second one, her A2, is it anything for Suroth. Removes all debuffs from all allies, so she's a cleanse. Then places a 50% increased attack and a shield on all allies for 2 turns. Value shields proportion to this champion's attack. Excellent. A3 places a taunt buff and a 25% fortify. Fortify is one of the new buffs that she brings on this champion for 2 turns. Also places an unkillable buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Metamorph changes. That's her A4. And then her passive is receives 15% less damage for each alive ally, and then instantly transforms this champion into their alternate form whenever their last living ally is killed. And she has an increased ally attack in all battles by 35%. Now that is the mythical champion that will be available as part of this new event. This is not the champion. This is not the boss that you have to battle. There's a little bit, it changes a little bit. She's not immune to HP burn, but HP burn has a maximum of 1% when it takes it on. But the way this is a new event dungeon, and the person that you're going to be going after the event dungeon is Kurosa. The same way we've had the last 2 event dungeons where we had Odin and we had the Queen of Hearts. They were both available as champions in an alternate form. Not quite as strong as they were as the boss, but they're also available. So that's what we're going to get out of Kurosa. This is what we're looking at as a champion. This looks fantastic in her base form. Let's take a look at her mythical. Once she shifts, A1, Destroyer of All, attacks one enemy 3 times. If this attack kills an enemy, deals pure damage to all other enemies. If the other enemies are not bosses or minions, the amount of pure damage dealt is equal to 30% of the initial target's max HP. If the other enemies are bosses or minions, the pure damage dealt is equal to the 10% of their max HP. Instead, the attack cannot be critical. So she's a nuker. So her alternate form, so she's support on her base form, a nuker on her mythical form. A2, Icon of Havoc, attacks all enemies before attacking, steals all buffs from all enemies. Targets whose attack is lower than this champion's attack cannot resist this effect. Also places 25% weakened debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Targets those attack is equal to or lower than the champion's attack cannot resist this effect. A3, Ruthless Agent, places a 50% shatter buff. That's another new buff that we're going to talk about here in just a second. And a 30% increased crit rate buff on this champion for 3 turns. Places a True Fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Targets whose attack is equal to or lower than this champion's attack cannot resist this effect. and then it grants an extra turn. So that's a pretty strong A3. Then a Metamorph, obviously. The passive on this is deals 15% more damage for each dead ally. Each critical hit boosts this champion's turn meter by 10% for each dead ally. So let's go back to the buffs. We have Fortify and Shatter. Those are two new things that are going to be specifically set around the crit damage and ignoring defense. So what it is we've had this rash of all of these champions in the way we've built things with new gear and relics that are ignoring defense, that what this does is one side of it allows you to ignore more defense to maximize it, and the other side minimizes it. So we've got Fortify and Shatter. Fortify allows you to protect yourself against somebody that is ignoring defense, and then Shatter is the exact opposite. It presses that ignore defense even further. So that's the two new buffs. We'll learn more about those as this gets closer and we see how they're going to release. But if we go back to that whole thing about dwarfs and Sylvan Watchers plus Demon Spawn and the lore that they're releasing, it feels like you've got two factions that are kind of, I don't know, of the earth. And I don't, like, Sylvan Watchers seem more earthbound than anything, just because it's like they're all plants and they're coming from the soil. And I don't know, dwarfs, maybe they're shorter, they're closer to the soil. I don't know. But it just feels like they kind of work together. The dwarfs, maybe they spend a lot of their time in their gardens. I don't know. But they're going to be the positives. Now, what's going to happen with this that they've released is this is going to be a coalition event. And we don't know exactly what that is, but we've seen stuff where it was community collaborative in the past. It's about if we can all, work together and achieve certain goals, then we can, as a community, receive better things, or it unlocks things or whatever. And the hope is that as a coalition, that we might unlock the ability to get this mythical in an easier way. I don't think she's going to be free. If we look at the last two event dungeons, it's not been like you could get Odin and you could get the Queen, but there was a lot of hoops you had to jump through and some chances. So I don't think I've seen people say like, oh, she's going to be free. We're going to be able to. It's a coalition thing. I don't see it happening. There's no way they're going to give a mythical this strong out to everybody, even if we do complete the coalition stuff. Now, here's the thing. In addition to all of this, they're releasing 8 new relics. And with all these relics, I see there's a better chance of this coalition event being more about what we can achieve as far as the relics go. That's my guess. And that's probably a pretty good guess. Come on. They're not going to give you a mythical for free here. There's going to be some progressive events. They're going to suck every bit of resource out of you trying to come up with this force mythical. The only good thing is that she's force and not void. It was very difficult to kind of claim the Queen last time because the only thing you could do it with was voids. So at least we have a chance with ancients and different things to be able to do something. But it's a force champion. But my gut tells me that the only way you're going to end up with this is pulling her on a primal through some kind of they may have a 2-time primal event. There may be something there, or if you win a tournament, she may be the top reward for a tournament. We just saw they gave away a 6-star blessing with for Lydia in the champion chase or champion training tournament, and most people had leaderboards with like 40 to 60,000 points for that, because obviously it's a pretty sought after 6-star soul for Lydia. But I don't feel like she's going to end up being a freely achievable mythical. I think she will be achieved by some, the lucky few, but I don't know. I just don't see it happening as far as it goes. I think the coalition is going to be more about the relics. But that is an event dungeon that is coming, and it is going to be tough. I think it's going to be a difficult dungeon to take on because it is a formation dungeon. And right now, I mean, I feel like it's going to be more in line with like Anus, the lunar, the butthole moon god that all of us hate to deal with at Curse City. That's a shift. We'll see. All right, that's it. That's this weekend raid. I'm Finally He Sleeps. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Make sure you subscribe here on the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss when a video goes live. That's it. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos.
Finally he sleeps, finally he dreams, in a world of games it seems.